We're talking about a dangerous new beauty trend predominantly used by women. Buttocks injections. Charleston attorney David Aylor, who always gets to the bottom of your legal issues, joins us right now to weigh in. And David, these injections are often administered by people with little or no formal medical training. So this is a dangerous trend, as we said, and we're seeing it more and more.
You're seeing it across the country, and what you end up seeing is a lot of these places that are sort of set up in shady areas, and then really the word gets out, and people are putting themselves up to this because they really want to get these injections. A lot of times, often it's a monetary issue, and then they go about it this sort of backwards way, and then ultimately has some serious health risks.
So really, this is backroom plastic surgery. We've heard of injections consisting of a fix-a-flat, something for your tires, liquid nail, even cement in some cases. This has got to be very dangerous. So what do you think the appeal is?
I think it's just the risk that they're worth taking simply to try to get that elevation. More or less, they want to do something with their bodies. They can't afford to do it in the normal process of going to a plastic surgeon with the medical licensing and safety and training, and so they ultimately just try to shortcut it, which oftentimes doesn't help.
Indeed. So clearly there are legal issues here, including that licensing issue. So what do you want people at home to know right now about these back home clinics, these backroom clinics that clearly are not licensed?
Well, the bottom line is if they don't have a medical license, they shouldn't be performing any type of surgery, no matter what type of surgery it is, particularly something as dangerous as this. And you see often these clinics use a lot of words to describe their procedures and try to move away from actual medical terms, but ultimately what they're doing is a medical procedure.
So have you seen this case in your practice right now? And if so, are they handing out pamphlets and things like that to try and fake like it's a licensed medical procedure?
Well, a lot of it is more word of mouth. Obviously they don't want to get too in the forefront of the public because then they'll start to attract more attention from the authorities. But what you see often is it being some sort of form of like a health clinic, maybe on the front end looks sort of something that would be viable that you could go to for some sort of treatment. Then ultimately it becomes exactly that, just fake doctors doing very, very dangerous surgeries.
Let's say that somebody out there has had this procedure right now, they're experiencing those side effects. What legal ramifications can they take to alter this and hopefully get better and get some of their money back? Because ultimately you're going to have to pay for this.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is, I don't know how much liability you're going to be able to put on the actual performing instructor, if you will, simply because, the fact that unless he tries to relay the message, or that she actually does have a medical license, you're taking that risk yourself.
Sure.
So the liability falls back on you as well.
What about charges? Are there any operating without a license charges that someone operating one of these backroom clinics could face?
I'm glad you asked that. That is actually the main way that a lot of these clinics are finally getting shut down. It's not so much from complaints from these people that are taking the risk and then they're coming in there and raiding them civilly or just looking at it from a health standard. It is actual criminal charges.
Yeah, if somebody out there knows of one of these clinics, you would urge them to contact authorities, you'd have to contact your office. What would you like them to do?
Well, I mean, there's a number of different things you can do. Obviously, you can contact the medical board, but contacting an attorney is something that helps. A lot of times that attorney then can be the conduit to the police, or contacting the police themselves. You got to make sure you understand exactly what you're calling about and have that specific information. But the bottom line is anybody that's performing these surgeries without a medical license and using things like liquid concrete and things like that is completely illegal, and they will face criminal ramifications.
Have we had cases here in the Low Country of this happening?
This isn't something that we've seen as far as from a prosecution standpoint yet. However, it's probably fair to say that there could be clinics like this in the area.
Just because it hasn't come up in a court of law doesn't mean it's not happening.
Absolutely. It's really rampant across the country.
Indeed, an issue to look out for. Please stay safe out there, and if there's anything that seems fishy about a medical procedure or a medical place that you might go for one of those procedures, please just use your head, think twice, and make sure you don't get in something that you can't get out of.
Yeah, it's really not worth the risk.
Indeed. David Aylor, thank you so much. Appreciate your time as always, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Much more Low Country Life coming up after the break. Make sure you stay with us.